Welcome back to day 21 of 31 monsters in 31 days. Let's find out who we're making today. We are making a bat. All right, let's make a bat.
While we're sketching out the plan and making the basic blob shape that all the monsters in this series are built off of, I'm going to give you a bit of a history of bats and the reason I included them in my monster list. If you want to see slower, step-by-step instructions on how to make this basic blob form, check out this video. For details on how I do my paper mache, check out this video. Both are linked in the description. Bats have long held an eerie reputation in folklore, what with their nocturnal habits, ability to hunt in the dark, and affinity for creepy places such as caves. Bats have probably been associated with Halloween since its predecessor, the Celtic festival Samhain. Bats have a tendency to gather in the autumn before migration or hibernation, and the light from the Samhain fires would have attracted insects, which in turn would have brought in hungry bats. Medieval European Christians associated bats with witches' familiars and evil spirits. Bats are mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible both as animals that are unclean and not to be eaten, as well as symbolically associated with darkness and abandonment. Bat parts were also allegedly a common ingredient in evil spells, potions, or curses. Dante's Inferno, written in the 14th century, described the devil's wings as looking like bat wings, and indeed he illustrated the devil to look as such. Over time, literature and popular culture reinforced the bat Halloween connection. In Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula, vampires can turn into bats at will. I had to include bats on my monster list because they have become a symbol of Halloween's themes of darkness, transition, and the supernatural. My next step is to make my bat's teeth. I'll need those to dry before I can add them to his face. I'm sculpting these with DOS air dry clay. This is my favorite air dry clay. I'll leave a link for this clay and my other supplies in the video description. After I've rolled out a bunch of teeth, I'm going to set these aside to dry. Now here's the dried blob. It's got 4 layers of paper mache on it, which is a nice firm base to work with. I'm sketching out some appropriately sized bat wings on this bit of cereal box. Then I'll cut this out and use it as a template to cut 2 bat wings out of cardboard and 4 finger pieces out of foam board. You can cut the finger pieces out of cardboard if you don't have foam board, but I like them to be nice and thick. I'm using some hot glue to stick a foam piece to the front and back of each cardboard wing, creating a nice little cardboard foam finger sandwich. I'm going to make some ears next. I cut these 2 bat ear shapes out of a cereal box, and then I'm cutting 2 small slits in each ear to make 2 darts. For each dart, I'm putting a bit of glue on there, then overlapping the legs of the dart. This helps give the flat cardboard a little bit of a 3D shape. I'm using a bead of hot glue now to beef up the top edge of each ear. When that glue has cooled and set, I'm attaching the ears to the blob, then using a bit of aluminum kitchen foil to give the back of the ears a natural slope. I'm using a few more little twists of foil to make the front of the ears a little more shapely. Then I'm using some short strips of masking tape over top to cover all the lumps and bumps and blend everything together. I'm going to use a bit of paper to make the bat's lower lip. I'm coating that in paper mache glue, folding it a few times to thicken it up and make a nice edge. Then wrapping it onto my bat's face in a big grin. Now I'll use some hot glue to stick down those bat teeth I made earlier. I'll use another bit of brown paper to make the upper lip. I'm blending the lips into the rest of the sculpture with some more paper mache. I'm covering those ears in a couple coats of paper mache too. While I've got the paper mache out, I'll give the wings a couple coats, and then I'll set all that aside to dry. I've got these little black buttons I'm going to use as his eyes. I'm using a pair of side cutters to carefully remove the shanks off of each button. Now I can bring back my dry bat and hot glue the buttons onto his face. I'm using some paper to make the bat's eyelids. I'll coat the paper in my glue, fold it a few times to thicken up the edge a little bit, then wrap it under the bottom of each button. I'm making each upper eyelid the same way, and then I'm blending in all the edges with a bit more paper mache. My wings are dry enough now that I'm hot gluing them onto the bat blob. I'll cover and secure that glue with a bit of paper mache too. I'm going to use a little bit of air dry clay to make the bat's nose. One of the great things about this clay is that it has a lot of paper fiber in it, so you can stick it to the paper mache with regular white glue. I'll pinch a little ball of clay into this rounded triangle shape and stick it onto the bat's face. I'm using a sculpting tool and the end of a paintbrush to make some nostrils and refine the shape a little bit. This is completely unnecessary, but I'm adding a tiny bit of clay above his nose to give him a few cute little nose wrinkles. And now we're gonna let him dry one last time before paint. The paint job for this bat is, as you'd expect, really simple. I'm giving him an all-over coat of matte black. Then, using a big fluffy brush, I'm dry brushing some dark brown onto the higher areas of the sculpture. When that's dry, I'm dry brushing white onto his teeth. As a final finishing touch, I'll glue some black felt onto the bottom of the sculpture and our bat is done. Here's our finished bat. This is one I really think you should try. It's so simple, but it's so stinking cute. If you think I did a good job, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave any questions you have about making your own bat in the comments. I try to reply to all the comments I get here on my channel, and I'm always happy to help you out with your own projects. It truly brings me joy to know that I might have an impact on somebody else's art hobby. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. You can see it ad-free on my Patreon. And again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.